Conor McGregor kind of took to Twitter recently, and obviously where there comes fame, comes a lot of judgment. And what I can kind of compare right now of his online criticism of the riots and everything is kind of like, I don't know if you heard about Web Summit recently with Paddy Cosgrave. He got a lot of he got a lot of judgment because he was talking a lot online, and like it's only because if a big account has something strong to say, then people take really bad judgment against it. And this is what Elon Musk is talking about. So Elon Musk is talking about basically the Irish Taoiseach, as we call it. A Taoiseach is someone that would basically tries to the higher up in the government and tries to represent your country. And our Taoiseach was talking about what was it? It was riots. Or no, sorry. The Irish Taoiseach Leo Varadkar was talking about what did he say? Sorry, I'm just going to double check actually if you want to bring it up there.
Oh yeah,
he says, the Irish government hate free speech was the actual tweet that was made. And what Varadkar is saying is that there needs to be more legislation and more laws put into place, as in like racial facial recognition, to get everyone, which is never going to happen, but to try and get everyone obviously behind bars, or trying to get everyone that is doing bad and trying to like stand up for themselves, or try to make a speech that they shouldn't be allowed to do that. And Elon Musk is going against it, saying like anyone should be able to stand up for themselves. I do agree with like Elon Musk, his take, but I think there is already like a lot of laws in place in Ireland. I think we are actually good in that way. Like I know recently there was cocoa law put into place, and it was actually a girl that I knew, and sadly like she had committed suicide because of some like online images of her being shared, and so a law was put into place straight after that had happened. Like they are actually quite quick, and I think I would like applaud us for doing that. Conor McGregor put online, obviously given out about the Irish government, which is very similar to what Paddy Cosgrave does on what he used to do on like a weekly basis. I used to follow him for that reason because I thought he was actually quite funny. But Conor McGregor said like what he's the king of basically is riling people on, making people mad, but he's not all talk. A lot of people assume Conor McGregor is all talk. He's definitely not all talk. He's actually created like houses in his local community in Drimnagh, Crumlin, and built houses because he knows that there's a massive housing crisis here in Dublin. But it's not just in Ireland, it's everywhere. It's just because of inflation, and obviously crime is on the rise because of that as well. And Conor McGregor is just kind of saying, putting fact to it, and people complain about it. The next day after the riots had happened, he kind of put like nearly an apology online, because obviously he had hurt a lot of people's feelings. So I think Conor McGregor can kind of get away with anything. He can get away with whatever he wants to say. I definitely agree with Elon Musk that like, you know, you shouldn't get banned over something that you want to say. I think like to report people and get taken down, like yeah, you can report them, but they shouldn't have to be taken down just because a couple of people like are against that, you know. I think like the laws though that are in place right now are like there for a reason, you know, and I don't think there needs to be particularly any more. But yeah, the riots that happened in Dublin were a disgrace. Like here, we never hear of something like that happening. And it was just really sad. And I think like it just links into all of this happening because it just goes to show you how mad people are getting with the current like system of things, right? That the government can't do everything. It has to be coming from like us as people as well, to know what is the right thing to do. You know, you can't have government controlling us for the rest of our lives. It's just not going to like end well really for anyone.
It never has historically, and the last thing you want to live in a society where people are afraid to speak their mind. Now, what's interesting, that you're kind of going through, and Ireland's kind of going through very similar stuff as what we're going through in the States, and they like to use these terms like hate speech, misinformation, disinformation, and it's like, well, who gets to determine, who is the arbiter of what hate speech is? Meaning that if Irish posts something on Twitter and I don't like it, do I get to say it's hate speech? Well, the way it works now is, big tech working, collaborating is able to do that. And Elon has really, really, it seems to thrown a wrench into what they want to do to be able to, control certain narratives. And like you said, the government is always going to want more power, and there's always going to be pushback. It's kind of like in 300, the Spartans pushing the Romans, and they're pushing back, and they're pushing them off the cliff. But that's kind of where it feels where we're at, where the governments are just going to constantly infringe on our rights. And what's even crazier is, you live all the way in Ireland, and it's like you're seeing, your people, you're seeing the same inflation that we're seeing. And the inflation it's really caused by us. It's really caused by the United States. In everything, everybody hurts. When we hurt, all the other countries hurt. And that's why I think a lot of countries are like, you know what, we're just ditching the US dollar, which I'm not happy about that. I want the dollar to be the world reserve currency, but the way things are going, I can't blame countries, and it's not really fair, because the inflation, it doesn't really hurt. It doesn't really hurt the rich and the elite. I don't even want to call them the 1%, because it's a lot less than 1%. It hurts the people like me and you. It hurts the people watching this.